All right, this is gonna be a kind of a pitch to comics in general, mainly Marvel and DC because I kind of feel this applies to them most because they're kind of the big names of comics and their heroes are most known throughout the world and stuff like that. All right, with all these kind of mundane events and all the stuff going on in comics, they're not addressing stuff like the oil spill and the Haiti accident that happened, the tragedy with the earthquake. Excuse me. What happens to stuff like that? Like whenever something like that would happen, I remember when 9/11 happened. That Marvel did that whole special with they had Spider-Man go and help with the 9/11 thing, and Superman help with the 9/11 thing over in DC. And there was one Batman story where I think it was a kid or something who was going in a minefield, and she stepped on a minefield, and Batman couldn't save her in time. I kind of feel they should address stuff like the oil spill, which is going on, and what happened in Haiti. I mean, I would love to see more stories like that, and just kind of ignore what's going on with the continuity and all that crap, and just tell a good story about what's really happening around the world instead of just trying to make money off these so-called events and world-changing events that they're doing right now. They kind of calmed down with it with the Brightest Day and Heroic Age, but those are just kind of to get the fans to kind of be quiet and kind of shut up, because they probably have been getting a lot of hate mail, which is rightfully so, because a lot of stupid stuff has been happening in comics. So my pitch to kind of Marvel and DC is I would like to see stories addressing this. I mean, with the oil spill, some heroes live over there in Mexico. One of the heroes should be kind of pissed off about that. If it's going into the water, like Namor or Aquaman should be concerned about that, because that's going into their home. And the Sea King himself, Aquaman, and Namor, they should be kind of pissed off about that. This isn't the first time oil spills happen. It's happened a lot. And with all these kind of things happening in reality, they can kind of apply it to comics. And those are the best type of stories, like what they when Paul Dini teamed up with Alex Ross and did Superman, Peace on Earth, and stuff like that. I feel they can do more with short stories, kind of one shots like that, and they would turn out really good. Same thing over at Marvel. I don't know, I was watching the news and it's just like, why aren't comics kind of addressing stuff like that instead of these mundane events, which are very tiring and annoying? Because in this time we need heroes, not kind of, I don't know, world-shattering events. We need heroes to help out around the world. They're there for that too, not just to fight off the supervillains and stuff like that. They're here to help us out. Even though they're not real, we can still read stories about them and how they would address the situation. Yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to address. If anybody else wants to talk about this, they can leave a comment or something like that, because I just feel they could, especially Marvel and DC, could kind of address that. Especially those two. Those are just recent. I'm just talking about recent events. Those are just the ones I remember recently. I'm pretty sure there's been other stuff that hasn't made it in the news that they can kind of talk about in comics. They would do it a lot. Like, they would raise for charity and stuff like that. They don't do that a lot. It's just events, or killing off unnecessarily killing off characters or something stupid, you know. Um, but yeah, they kind of feel the need that superheroes are human and they make mistakes too, and they're not gonna get along. But now is a time for them to get along and help out around the world, not just um, fight out the next big mega boss or whatever. All right, that's my kind of pitch slash rant to Marvel and DC, and you all tell me your thoughts on this. I'm out.